In the battle which may decide fourth spot, Barry Hall and Jordan Roughhead returned for Western Bulldogs, while Daniel Cross chalked up 150 games. 6 changes for Fremantle following the shock loss to Richmond. Experienced duo Ryan Crowley and Kepler Bradley are injured, while Paul Hazelby received a late reprieve after David Mundy fell ill on match morning. Captain Matthew Pavlich has been struggling with an ankle injury. Western Bulldogs charged through the corridor and Brian Lake potted the opening goal before the defender backed up for his second 5 minutes later.
Bends it back a little, bends it back magnificently.
The Bulldogs dominated possession and kicked the opening 4 goals.
Griffin should go for home. No one's in the square. Sends a long monster.
Fremantle finally scored when Michael Johnson converted the Dockers' 4th entry inside 50.
Finally, the Dockers are on the board.
Adam Cooney showed good strength before he made it 31-6.
And he splits the middle, punches the lead back to 25.
Liam Picken dribbled the ball through with his first major, while Barry Hall showed a different type of going low to set up his first.
And they lead by 38.
Hayden Ballantyne kicked a much-needed reply for Fremantle before Griffin landed his second goal with just his 5th disposal.
He just about put this in the book. Could have handballed it, rolls it through.
Too easy.
Hall closed down the first quarter with the Bulldogs' 9th goal.
Simply awesome.
Hall opened the second quarter with his 3rd major. Reece Palmer had to leave the action after this collision as the Bulldogs hit the 70s midway through the term.
Pearce edged under it by Gian Siracusa. Grant, clever, inboard, Roughhead, and Barry Hall says hold on to it, and then he gives it to Barry Hall for number 4.
Brodie Moles did all his own work to make it a 50-point game.
Hands it off to Moles. Higgins peeling back. Now he comes back towards the kicker. Moles might go for home. Should skid it through. Gorgeous.
Then a couple of first-time goal kickers, Jesse Crichton for Freo and Easton Wood for the Bulldogs.
And goal number 1 for his career.
Griffin then produced a pearler of a kick off the outside of his right boot.
What about that? Griffin with the outside of the foot. If it bounces, it's one of the goals of the year.
Barely a contest at half-time, Western Bulldogs in front of Fremantle 89-32. The long break did the Bulldogs no harm. Brad Johnson and Moles topped up with extra fuel to pass the century mark.
Cross sends it back. Moles from 48. They are playing with them.
Injured shoulder or not, Palmer popped up to score for Fremantle, while Daniel Giansiracusa became Western Bulldogs' 10th goal kicker.
And he slips one through.
The Dockers kicked a couple of sitters. Pavlich ended his goal drought, while Nathan Fyfe got Fremantle into the 50s.
Margin under 60.
Then crossing the codes when Lake barged over the line.
It's a try to Brian Lake.
Western Bulldogs had shining lights everywhere with a 60-point lead at the final change, before the controversial and the brilliant when Hall assisted his skipper's second.
Barry Hall back at the pack. That is unbelievable. That is one of the goals of the year.
Unbelievable. He taps it back off the right foot of Johnson. That's magnificent. The 2 superstars.
I'm backing Chelsea Roffey in there.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go against Chelsea.
I am as well.
She was right on the spot.
Yeah.
Fantastic goal.
Lake's 3rd goal came when he returned to play at fullback.
Hands on it, keeps his feet, sends it to Barry Hall at full forward. Bouncing ball, Grover, Hall.
Sure.
It might go all the way. It wasn't touched.
Picken doing plenty of the spade work to increase the Bulldogs' percentages.
Picken, brilliant. Keeps his feet.
How hard he is.
Spears his way back inboard. Kicks around the body. Awesome
goal.
At the end of a controversial week with Jason Ackermanis leaving the club, Western Bulldogs savaged Fremantle 158-76. Charles Christian, Big Pond Sport.